Were the accommodations at Fyre Fest better or worse than the accommodations in prison?
That's a good question. I plead the fifth on that one.
So maybe instead of solitary confinement, they should have just made you live like a Fyre Fest attendee for a year.
Jesus Christ.
He laughed.
That's crazy.
He thought it was funny.
That'd be a good TV show.
Yeah,
Billy McFarland has to live as a Fyre Fest 1 attendee for 6 months. Can he survive?
He gets cheese and bread and nothing else.
We'll take $8 million off his restitution.
And TikTok influencers dancing all around him.
You're like, sign me up for that. Hell yeah.
Can I go now? Yeah.
Wow, big show tonight. We got a big show tonight. Billy, what a legend. Fyre Fest founder. He started a credit card company.
Prison survivor.
That's a big one. A lot of people don't really get out of that. Billy, hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. That's the top of my resume, prison survivor.
Tell us what prison's like. I kind of want to know what's prison like. For a guy like you.
It seems like the sign on the wall where it says "break rules, make money" applies to most of the guys I met there. So you guys know what's up.
Yeah, man. It's so I was like, it's like a lot of things going on. I mean, like what a career, Bill. I don't know where to start here. One of the things I'm curious is like, do you take anything to like sleep at night? Like, how do you like? Do you take like a pill, or do you smoke weed? Like, give us a little like synopsis on the day to day of Billy McFarland.
Damn, getting right into the thick of it. I don't think I've tried any other drugs except for weed in my life. I get a lot of like, how much cocaine are you doing comments. I never tried it. I think I'd probably run through a wall and kill myself and probably hurt other people as well. So that's a good thing. But
it's got to be
no drugs.
I mean, like the judgment, like it's got to be like the judgment of people, how people perceive you versus who you actually are. It's like how much of it is false and how much is true.
Good question. I certainly did a lot of up, made a lot of bad decisions and violated trust in people I cared about. So there's a lot that's wrong. I think the thing that I don't like and it kind of irked me the most is there was enough bad that should stand alone. But of course, fiction always sells more. So it was always like weird to me how stories and narratives had to be told when there was like enough terrible shit to really focus on. So the world's a weird place. Media is a weird industry, and it's been quite the ride.
Yeah. And like, what about like, did you feel like you had to play full on heel like a wrestler?
I have to play full on heel.
Like you kind of like egged on to the thing, like after like you kind of doubled down on it a little bit.
Probably. I certainly doubled down. I think the more the people get pissed off, the more that the people who are our customers or our partners, the more interesting they feel and proud they feel to be part of like a, kind of counterculture movement. So I definitely think that there's some business, I hope there's some business sense in continuing whatever the lore may be.
Yeah, totally. Like I was like, like there's got to be some, what do you think the scariest moment in your life was?
Scariest moment, I think being in front of a judge who, singularly had the power and the ability to smack her gavel and decide how many years of my life I would spend in jail.
What was that day like when you're about to have your verdict?
I was sentenced to 6 years. I was 25 or 26 at the time. And up until that point, I had been like living every day by the hour, trying to pay bills by the hour, trying to survive by the hour. And just to hear 6 years, couldn't really fathom that period of time. It was super long and scary.
I bet, man. I think about like what were the scariest moments of Fyre Fest? Like when it was about to go down. Like,
did you ever think you were like in physical danger?
Not really. I think a lot of that was played up. The victims were mostly the investors, and there's people I let down like who were kind of collateral damage, which is awful. But I think this whole idea like Bahamians weren't paid and they were trying to kill them, I think that's all kind of BS, and I wish that true story there was told. So the safety factor wasn't there. I think when really hit the fan was when our number 2, our head of operations, told me that 3 people had gotten killed at the festival and no one was hurt at all. It was totally bullshit. But that was the
no one got killed.
What the fuck is happening? No one got hurt. No one was even slightly hurt. But I was told that and in the moment believed it, and I was literally started turning airplanes around in the air to go back home.
Dude, that's insane. What about I'd be more scared of these billionaires trying to kill you than the bohemians, dog. I watch too many of these blue collar or white collar films, dude.
We all know about billionaires and islands.
We know about billionaires and islands,
I've told one person in my life this, and I don't know why I'm doing this now. Is it the right time or not? But I attempted to do a podcast from the payphone in jail, and they took me to solitary confinement. bad idea for anybody listening. But they took me to solitary confinement for 7 months.
Oh my God!
And they pulled me out of the cell. 2 months in, they questioned me on something I had no idea what they're asking me about. And the exact quote from this person in charge, who's fairly powerful official, said, quote, "This is the type of thing where the wrong person gets transferred to your cell and your family's reading about your suicide."
Oh my God. I mean, look what happened to all these.
This is 12 months after Epstein died. So
what the
because of one of the investors, not somebody else in prison with you. This is from the outside. You're being asked about.
I think they mean that their point was that there's someone who's not there who could make
you not there. Yeah.
Oh my God. How much money did you actually lose there?
A lot.
Yeah.
30 million plus.
And you're still paying that back, right? Correct? Like a part of your proceeds forever?
Exactly. So every month I have to pay a check, and it's a percentage of my income. So whether I earn $10 or $10 million, I'm not making $10 million, right? But a percentage goes back to whoever's paying.
What's it feel like to owe the government that much for the rest of your life?
Really good question. It's kind of weird because when I'm not making, I have months where, bad months where income is super low and then no one cares. And then the second you have a good month and do all right, then the people come out of every angle. So it's kind of this up thing where it's almost designed to make you not want to work. And obviously I'm doing the opposite, but yeah, it's kind of weird where as soon as you start doing semi-okay, then it just becomes more expensive to actually work than to not work.
Yeah. Well, it feels like you're just working for the government now. You're not working for yourself.
For real.
So how do you departmentalize that in your head to keep working if it's not for you, it's for them?
I just remember having a conversation with one of the government entities that are owed. And it's all right, well, if you're making $10 a month on this, we want 12. And I'm well, why don't you sit home and play video games? How does that make sense? How am I losing money to work? So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. I read during your probation, you were required to work 30 hours a week at a regular job, basically. Was that true? And also how did that feel? Because obviously you're not wired for that. So was that worse than solitary confinement or?
So the only time that was actually true was during a halfway house, which I was at for 4 months.
Okay.
So it was a pretty short period of time, and just went and worked for a friend's company. But yeah, it was 3.5 or 4 months. It was pretty short.
What kind of job were you working?
I'm not gonna say the company's name, but a friend is a tech company. So tech startup in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
What I'd be curious about your real friends when this went down. Could you find out who your real friends were versus the people who just ditched you immediately?
You know what the craziest thing is if you asked me 10 years ago to write down 5 people that would have stuck around and 5 people that would have left, I probably would have gotten every single one wrong.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that was one of the weirdest things for just life, smacking you in the face type of thing. I would have gotten everyone wrong.
Did that hurt you?
For sure. And I think it's made more sense over time, but I think the ones that I gave the most to were the first to leave because, they were around for the free shit. And ironically, some of the people I hurt the most, they're the ones that stayed. And so it kind of it makes sense, but doesn't make sense. It was a really weird thought process.
Who are more pissed off at you? People of public, like a Ja Rule, or investors?
The biggest investors are the most understanding, which I think is I think it's counterintuitive, but I guess it's not. But if you made,
because they probably lose a bunch.
But they're
they're used to it.
It's a numbers game. I
think if you've made $2 billion, you've seen some shit So I think it's like, oh, whatever. Just like, I lost one, I won 10, like I'll be all right. It's like the smaller investors are probably the ones that are the most mad who,
because the risk
thought this was their chance to make, I'm going to give you $5,000 and make, 500 million off this. And like, oh, didn't do it. Like those are the ones that got the most pissed.
Hey guys, it's Andy, and I want to talk a little bit about Volume.com. Yes, Volume.com, our sugar daddy. Yes, our sponsor. And we are doing a only Frasco subscription for $5 a month. We're going to have extended videos of the podcast. You're going to have a live stream once a month of the band. You're going to have live streams of us making the new record. So head over to volume.com/Andy Frasco. Subscribe. It's only $5. I got a cup of coffee today. It was $7.50. You could just spend one cup of coffee and get all the Frasco you want. So head over to volume.com/Andy Frasco and subscribe. Support your guys. Maybe I'll even pay Nick more. You never know.
What about what was your conversations like with Ja Rule afterwards? Like, was he so pissed, or was this like a thing, or like any of the public figures, like the guys who were gonna take a bunch of the grunt from the media? I was curious about those guys more.
My last interaction with Ja Rule was my lawyer called me in and said Ja Rule's going in to cooperate with the government tomorrow. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, if you talk to him again, I'm not going to represent you. So never spoke with him since.
Holy.
Do you want to speak with him?
Do you want to speak with him?
No interest.
Yeah. What about your lawyer? Tell me about how he approached this whole thing. Was he good to you? Was it hard, or did you still have him in your life?
I think from the lawyer side, they did a great job. Like I was black and white guilty, so there's not really much you can do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There wasn't a big.
Yeah. Respect.
Yeah. There's not like, oh, we can argue this. Like,
It's all on paper. You signed it. Yeah.
It's all on paper. And
there's a documentary.
Like, there's not. There's not much we can really do. I think the weird thing was just like meeting different people throughout the process who got either like more time or less time, and then like thinking my thing was either too short or too long. And like I've never, I never thought otherwise, right? It was always either I got too long or I didn't get enough, and that's kind of a weird process.
What about your mental health through that thing? Did you ever think about suicide, or like how you're so alone, man? Like that's a hard time. I mean, it is up what happened and what you did and stuff, but also you as a human, I still, think about your heart and your mind. Like how is that? How are you going through there?
Thank you. Good question. I think the weird thing is, before everything collapsed, the people around me probably overestimated my abilities, right? I had tons of employees and people like that, and they're all kind of like, go, like the yes men. And then when things went wrong, it went from like, hey, he can't even figure out how to work at an ice cream shop, right? We need to treat him like he's totally challenged. So it was like the total opposite ends of the spectrum. And it was kind of weird to seeing friends and family go from oh, you can do anything to, hey, where can he even live in our basement? Is he capable of that? So,
a
weird process.
You must have been super alone, man. What about suicide? Is that ever crossed your mind?
No,
that's good.
Never. Yeah.
How'd you convince these super millionaires to give $26 million to a 25-year-old kid?
Yeah, I think it's up. I knew most of them for years before it, and the majority of the money came from people who had invested in my previous businesses, and they had seen small wins, small failures along the way. So when I truthfully said, I think this is the biggest opportunity, right, they didn't question it, but I think that was where the trust was violated.
What were your businesses before this?
I had a credit card company that you alluded to, called Magnesis, and then I had a tech company before that.
Oh, that was like a social media link sharing thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what made you want to do another Fyre Fest, or was that what was your philosophy on that?
It's really hard to do anything after jail, right? Like people are scared to touch you.
I know. You see that with people getting jobs in prison too. Even little jobs.
And the music industry is already crazy enough.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I think the one thing that I'm lucky is to have these media opportunities, right? I think media is the one industry where they'll still have you on because it serves them. So the big media companies aren't scared to, have me whether it's for a show or an interview or whatever, but other industries are. So kind of had to lean into that. Right. And I feel like going into the belly of the beast was the best way to create some opportunity and try to get a team and get a chance to get back to work.
Yeah, and like, I'm not saying this like ignorantly. I'm just asking you, like, do you have remorse? Is that in you?
Oh, for 100%.
Yeah. And as you get older, do you feel like you become more sensitive to remorse?
I think I've gone through periods of like how I've self-internalized the guilt, right? There were some days where I'm like, I'm the world's worst person. And then, some days something happens where I see something else and I'm like, okay, like I have a chance, right? I'm not as bad as this guy.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of this weird like cycle. And I think the weirdest thing is, especially for the first like year after jail, every single person I met, they try to whether connect or confide, they all told me like the worst things they've ever done. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, this is a pretty fucked up world out here. So, like,
they're just trying to relate with you, like, yo, I went to prison. I went to prison for this.
So who do you feel worse for in the Fyre? Like, who do you feel the worst for in the Fyre Fest situation?
I think one, family who had nothing to do with my work at all, right? Mm-hmm. And they kind of became the real victims from the jail and the media and all that BS. And then two, the people who I knew the longest. I think the investors who were like good people and they backed me when I was a young kid, right? And just like wanted to like give me a shot. I think those are the ones I let down the most.
What about like the local Bahamians and stuff? Are they still getting paid back, or is that?
Yeah, I think like that's like the worst part of the story for me, and I don't know how to like say this right. I'm not going to say it right, but that story is bullshit. Like they were paid millions and millions of dollars, and I think we really helped tourism wise. So I think it's tough to like approach it so bluntly, but I didn't see the doc, but the woman who claimed to be owed this money, this doc, never knew she existed. Like it's not real. So it's a tough situation.
So when did you start knowing that media and everyone was flipping the story? Like, there's like a tipping point in media where the propaganda starts getting really crazy.
I think I was doing like one interview after, and I was so like focused on the guilt to the investors, and they just didn't care about the investors. Like, oh, what about this? What about this? I'm like, no, like I legitimately hurt these people who like believed in me, and they just like they couldn't have cared less. I think the media realized it's harder to make somebody feel bad for a super wealthy person who lost money, right? Mm-hmm. And it's easier to make someone feel bad for someone who seemingly was taken advantage of it, who has nothing. So I think that's kind of like what twisted it the most.
Oh,
do you ever run into like people that attended the festival, like when you're walking around New York or anything?
All the time. I've met three. I was talking to somebody earlier. I met three couples who met at Fyre Festival who got married after. So I think that was pretty cool.
So what's their reaction towards it? The people who are actually there.
I think secretly most of them had a good time.
Oh my God.
Really?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know. I saw those sandwiches.
Yeah, that's my question. Like, were the accommodations at Fyre Fest better or worse than the accommodations in prison?
That's a good question. I plead the fifth on that one.
So maybe instead of solitary confinement, they should have just made you live like a Fyre Fest attendee for a year.
Jesus Christ.
He laughed.
That's crazy.
He thought it was funny.
That'd be a good TV show. Yeah,
Billy McFarland has to live as a Fyre Fest 1 attendee for 6 months. Can he survive?
He gets cheese and bread and nothing else.
We'll take $8 million off his restitution.
And TikTok influencers dancing all around him.
You're like, sign me up for that. Hell yeah.
Can I go now?
Who are meaner, the influencers or like the people who are you guys, because you hired a ton of influencers to go down there. Do you regret doing that now and just let the festival just be awesome as it supposedly was going to be?
I think it's like as stupid and like granular as it sounds. I made one decision the day of that ruined it. And like, if that decision wasn't made, there still would have been a festival. People were arriving early in the morning. And I felt like it didn't look good enough, right? So instead of just saying like, all right, like let's everybody come at 8 a.m. when they're sober, like get situated, we sent them to a beach on the other side of the island, like with like a bunch of booze and boats and parties, and then had them all come at 9 p.m. So they were like drunk and it was dark and like it was 1,000 people instead of like 50 people at a time, and that kind of created the chaos. So it's a stupid idea, really. Like that, like I thought we could make it look great in however many hours, and we couldn't, and like it wouldn't really have mattered. It was going to look bad anyway. So people should have just come when they were sober.
Quick break from the interview. I want to talk about our lovely sponsor, Gardenista. Gardenista is the freshest, most delicious, ready-to-serve cocktail And it's unlike anything you ever tasted. It really isn't. It's really nice, actually. It's made with natural ingredients, green herbs, ginger, lime juice, organic cane sugar. I didn't know that it had organic cane sugar. That's what I tasted in it.
I love the jalapeno.
The jalapeno is nice. A subtle kick of perfectly balanced with premium spirits, tequila, vodka, or bourbon. You could pick between these green juices having tequila, vodka, or bourbon, which is pretty sick. My favorite is the vodka one. It feels good with the spice. Tequila's good.
And the tequila is my favorite.
Yeah. And it's only 98 calories. Damn, I didn't know that. It's only 98 calories?
Per serving, yeah.
Oh, a little skinny bitch over here. Yes, bitch. I'm a little skinny bitch when I drink Gardenista. It's 98 calories per serving and 15% alcohol. ABV's alcohol?
Alcohol by volume.
Wow, that's strong drink. No wonder. I normally pull it out when I have those 3 a.m. parties after the bars. And it's bomb. And it's kind of like a nice talking. Like you feel like I put some ice in it and it's a nice conversational piece. So you could order it at their shop, drinkgardenista.com. And for listeners of the World Saving Podcast, please use the code Frasco for 20 to get 20% off your first order. That's Frasco, the word for FOR 20. I love this. I know you will too. And Jason, who runs the company, is just a great guy. And
That's not what he said to say.
He said, he told us to say. Also, my best friend Jason has a huge hog, and that's true. So grab Gardenista and let them know Frasco and Jason's huge hog sent you. All right, goodbye. Enjoy the interview.
If you could have done it differently, what would you have? Would you have made more time to prepare?
Time and not lied to the investors. I actually think I would have raised more money if I didn't lie. I think for the most part, they knew I was lying, and that we're just doing better than we were. So I think they all knew I was lying, and they were like investing despite of that. And if I had told the truth, they probably would have invested more. So I think, like, ironically, it actually made it worse.
Did any of
yeah, it's kind of weird you're saying that, but we'll still do it, right? Like it was a weird situation.
Do you feel like they were hiding money? Like, kind of, this is just like a tax write-off? They're like, F it. If it fails, it fails.
Right.
No, I think they assumed, like, as it got closer, they weren't going to make money on that festival, but had it had worked, they would have owned part of a brand that had a chance. So I think that was kind of the logic at the end.
That's, I'm curious about this. How do you did you keep going with the credit card company after Fyre Fest?
I sold it for like pennies in the dollar, maybe a month after.
I was also actually curious about the time with the ticket scam, like when you were on bail for Fyre Fest. Were you like, F it, I'm already in so much trouble, like I might as well just try this too? Or like, what was the thought process there?
Yeah, I think I still don't know how to justify that. It certainly was wrong. I think where like Fyre Festival was so black and white, like black being guilty, everything after was kind of a gray area, and I shouldn't have been doing it. I don't think it was as drastic as stories had been told, but it was wrong. And that was a time to like sit down and shut the up. And I didn't do that. And like, so that's guilty in itself.
What advice would you give young promoters starting festivals? if looking back at seeing a flop like this, what would you give advice to people starting new festivals?
I mean, I don't think they make any money, so I think that's probably a bad motivation.
I mean, we're musicians. I'm in the jam scene, so like I do 40 festivals a year, and I see these new festival pop up all the time. I'm like,
I won't see you next year.
Or I don't want to say that, but it's like,
you know what I mean, though. Like,
it's like
being exaggerating, but
it's a hard balance of what the lineup is, the music, the bands on it, and how easy it is to get to the location. You know, like what advice would you give someone to do for if you're giving anyone advice about music festivals?
I think it's just not a good way to make money, because I think music is so sexy that there's always going to be people who are paying artists more than they can make back because they want to be involved, right? So it's hard to actually make money when you're competing against people or someone who's like willing to lose because they want to be associated with a band like you guys or an artist or an act. You know, you understand the game, so totally. I think it's tough.
There is a cultural capital to it, or like, for sure.
100%. And you're going to be competing against somebody who has unlimited money, but they have zero cultural, capital or status, and they're willing to spend to earn that.
That's why Jeff Bezos had his wedding on a yacht.
Do you think Live Nation after seeing your story was like, yes?
A little attention driven away.
A little tension driven away from the big kilometer. Poor guy. What do you? Did you have talks with Live Nation or AEG or anyone to like partner before? Or
no comment. So
fair enough.
That's that lawyer. Good job, Bill.
He's on the other side of the laptop.
You're on the left. Yeah, on the prize. On the prize.
I don't want the wrong person getting transferred to my neighborhood and getting deleted.
But do you really feel like that that still is a possibility for you?
Probably. Who knows? Who knows?
What if you stop paying?
There's a lot more people to worry about.
What if you just say, I'm done paying the government? What happens?
I don't know. I don't want to know, but just like it's the income is up and down, right? There's good months, there's bad months, so it's spotty. I'm doing what I can do.
Do you think you'll ever pay back the money?
I think so, and whether it takes 2 years or 7 years or 47 years, I have no idea.
What's your plan? Like, what are you doing now to kind of get out of that hole?
Well, we just finally did our festival in December, so that was cool.
How'd that go?
It was good. We rented a little island off the coast of Utila, which is Honduras in the Caribbean. So we did a 400-person little festival there on the island. It was great.
Who played?
French Montana was like the main act, and we had Slim Jimmy from Ray Shremmerd. We had Bobby Shmurda.
I watched some of the stream.
Yeah?
Yeah. And
it seemed like there was a lot of locals there.
Yeah, for sure. It was like 425 people, so it kept it small. And
you had a range of ticket packages up to like $1 million package, or?
We did.
Did anybody buy the $1 million package?
Not for that one, no, unfortunately.
It comes with like a private jet from Miami. What was it? It was like a private jet and a chef.
You think people are worried that you're just going to put them on Spirit, Bill?
I think that would have been best case scenario in their minds.
That'd be the least of their worries.
Oh, man.
The least of their worries.
I didn't get a checked bag.
I didn't get a checked bag.
Can we talk about your personal life a little bit, Bill? What's it like trying to be in love and trying to get intimate with someone and have them trust you from not having them see what you did in your past?
Yeah, I always get asked that. Such a weird thing. I think even to seeing friends and family, when I didn't see them for a period of time, they started thinking they started believing things were worse than they really were, just because obviously the news, the stories, they'd hear it. And then I think for the first year when I got released, I'd go and see someone for the first time, and then 5 minutes in, you'd see him snap back, you're the same guy I know, the same strengths, the same flaws, it's you're the same person. I think it just takes the FaceTime, but after that, it's pretty quick to get back to normal with people I'm close with.
Oh man, it's falling in love. Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend or anything?
It was a long-time girlfriend. So
long-time girlfriend. For a while. She stuck with you?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Was that tough in the beginning years? How'd you?
She's crazier than me. So no, it's all good.
I'll clap to that. That's good. Yeah. We all need a crazy woman in our life.
No comment.
Oh man,
keep us on track.
Yeah.
My lawyer's saying no comment on the crazy woman thing.
Are you guys married?
No.
Basically.
He's
the
common law.
Yeah.
I'm just
understood.
I'm just been on the road for 15 years, touring. So no, not really.
Anytime soon or no?
I think so. I think I'm almost ready to find love. I've found it's nice.
We'll get you to do your reality show.
You found some pockets of it.
Yeah. It's just Billy and Andy find love.
Yeah, he's going to be in the tent and you have to find love within 6 months.
Yeah. With an influencer from Fyre Fest.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to date every influencer from Fyre Fest and he has to live in the tent with the ham sandwiches.
This is awesome.
So tell me about how you find new friends now. Is it harder to trust people to be in your life?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's hard for them to trust me, right? I think one of the things I realized too, it's no one gives a shit about you, right? They're scared for themselves.
Right.
So I think most people aren't concerned about what I may or may not say or do. It's what will my boss think? What will my wife say? What will my parents say to me, right? People are always just concerned about their own shit. So I think once I've really understood that, it's made it easier to to internalize.
Any of the investors like just lose everything because of this investment? Like lost their house, lost their families?
I don't think so, and I really hope not. So
Yeah. That's that'd be what I'd be like,
Yeah.
damn, like if you convince like one of your homies who just took out all his savings, you know?
Like those Bitcoin rug pulls.
Yeah.
Like one of those things.
Most of the investors were like professional venture investors. It doesn't make it right, but no, like it's.
So what's it like
right.
going back into these venture capitalist meetings and say, hey man, I'm the Fyre Fest guy. I need some more capital. How are those meetings been for you in your recent life?
I have a lot of restrictions on like what I can or can't do financially. I think ironically, if I didn't have restrictions, I could probably raise money easier now than ever.
Really? How explain that? Like what restrictions do you have?
I can't like sell securities is kind of like the one rule.
Okay.
So, I can't go be like, hey, for $1 million, I'll give you 10% of my company. So I can't can't raise traditional venture capital.
All right.
What's your philosophy of how to raise capital then? If you can't do that?
I mean, I really can't. It's got to earn it. So doing a documentary, we did like a live stream for the festival. I do marketing work. I gotta grind it out. So not easy.
Interesting.
Oh man. How did the stream do? Did that make some dough?
I got paid for the rights for it. So,
okay.
a different company owns it. Yeah.
Is
We sold the rights for the live stream documentary.
So I know that LimeWire bought the Fyre Fest like brand last summer, and you said last month on LinkedIn you're trying to buy it back. Is that because of that cultural capital that it comes with it, or what's the philosophy behind you trying to get it back?
I think we had like when it was me plus Fyre, it was just too scary for most people to want to deal with. And so I thought we had to like decouple it, right? We did our little event, built some trust back on that through a couple other, ventures. So now I think it's such an important part of my life. I'd love to have it back.
Okay.
In your heart of hearts.
So for $5 million for 5%. No, I'm just kidding.
You're the wrong guy. We're in the jam scene, bud. We barely get per diems at these.
We might be hitting you up for money.
Yeah, we might be hitting you up for money. In your heart of hearts, I say that very. Do you think you're a con man, or are a con man, or were a con man? Now looking back of it, or no?
No, I think I was desperate and made some really bad decisions that I shouldn't have made.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I mean, you were so young, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be scared shitless to talk to these investors when you see the festival. The thing you convinced them is losing. I mean, it must have been weird. I mean, I guarantee a lot of people would lie.
Do you think you'd be the best car salesman of all time if you wanted to do that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't know. I think you could be a really good salesman.
Sell a jet.
You can sell a music festival. You can sell a Jetta.
I mean, I'd see that. Who was okay? So a couple more questions, and we'll close this up. But who was your target for Fyre Fest? Who were like the people that you wanted? What bands you wanted the most, and you almost had them and didn't get them?
This was obviously pre-meltdown number like 54, but I really wanted Kanye West.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Of course.
We had Good Music, which was his record label at the time, headlining, and it was officially like 5 or 6 of the other acts, but there was always kind of hope and anticipation he was going to come. So that would be cool. I wanted Blink-182 until they lied and said they didn't get paid and canceled. Even though they got paid, so them.
Hold on, they lied. What happened with them?
They said they didn't get paid, and they did. They got $500K and just kept it.
Oh my god!
Oh,
that's a hot goss.
Interesting.
That's hot goss.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people did that? How many bands took the money and said they didn't get paid?
Every single band got paid. I think Blink-182 is the only one that lied about it, about not getting paid, but they were all paid.
You think they did it for marketing reasons?
They came out and said like, oh, well, our brand doesn't align with like rich kids on these yachts. And meanwhile, like Travis Barker had us chartering like a $200,000 yacht for him to take him from Miami to
married to a Kardashian.
Oh my fucking god!
Married to a Kardashian.
A lot of hot goss today. A lot of hot goss.
We hate these yachts, except that we require the nicest one for our show.
Interesting.
Very interesting. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by?
Not giving up, and hopefully that leads to a good outcome.
Do you still believe in the American dream?
That's a great question. I think I grew up in like a really normal suburb, right? And I think I believed everything I was told about the world until I was like 24 or 25. I was like super anti-conspiracy theory, like thought everything was as it appeared. And I'm starting to, quickly flip to the opposite side. So I was asking a politician here, and I'm not going to say who it was. I said, is it true the elections are actually rigged? And he goes, I don't know if the elections are rigged, but the country is rigged. And so
that makes sense. Are you going to go to your 25-year high school reunion?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Why not? Well, I don't even know when that is. That'd be funny. Hey, fuckers.
Hey, it's Bill. It's like, what's up? I'm still here, bitches.
I'm the most famous one. Doesn't matter why. I am the most famous.
Doesn't matter why.
This is America.
This is America. You ever meet old Trumper? What was that like?
He was not the person I asked that question to, but
what did he say? What did he say about this whole debacle you're in?
I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, we've met.
I respect. I like how
he did get you a year off your prison term, didn't he?
Me and a bunch of others, but
not you specifically, nice. But he passed some law that.
He passed a law to give first-time nonviolent people a year off. That was
right.
What's your take about Jeffrey Epstein?
I think he was killed, and I don't want to get hurt for saying that, but I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. I mean, that is the official narrative.
That's the official narrative.
Well, not really, but it's turning into it, kind of.
I think just being in the same solitary wing that he was in, it's certainly very easy for someone to have that ordered.
Hold on. You were in the same solitary confinement as him?
For a period of time, yes. Like, not when he was there, but at different periods. Yes.
But the same facility, though?
The same facility.
Oh, yes. Wow. I didn't know that.
Who else was in prison when you were in prison?
That place, nobody interesting. I was at a white collar place for 6 months with Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, in the situation. So that was funny.
Wow.
But then I got kicked out of there.
Why'd you get kicked out?
I had a USB device, so I was trying to record a book, and they didn't like that one either.
So you were just like a
Bill, you're a cockroach. Bill, you're a pest, dude.
I kind of think I would listen to a jail phone podcast, to be fair.
Dude, that would rule. So what happened when they found the USB? Okay, this is the last question. I promise. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What was the last question? Like, what the is this, Bill?
I'm gonna leave the viewers with this. I had a USB device, very, very clear against the rules, not allowed to do it. I was sentenced to 3 months in solitary confinement and lost my phone privileges like afterwards for 45 days or something. Then I did the podcast, broke no rules, was found not guilty, did 7 months in solitary confinement, and couldn't call my family for 2 years.
Whoa,
so when you break the rules, when I broke the rules, I got less time than when I didn't break the rules. That's in the head.
Maybe America is rigged.
Maybe America might be rigged, Bill.
Maybe it is rigged.
America. On that note, the American dream is dead, and America is rigged.
Yeah.
Bill, thanks for being honest. I really appreciate it, man. I can't wait to talk to
Jason.
Jason, it's gonna be fun. All right, bud. Thank you.
You guys have any shows in New York anytime soon?
Yeah, we just played 2 nights at the Brooklyn Bowl, and
really,
yeah, we're doing what are we doing? I'm doing the Beacon Theater with the Allman Brother Review, and then I'm doing.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I'm coming a lot. I'll message you on Insta. Do you have
let
Insta?
me know. I'll buy a ticket and come cheer.
You're not buying tickets on me, brother. I got you. You're already dealing with a lot.
I'd love to come.
I'll put you on the guest list.
Yeah. You can't come backstage, but I'm kidding.
All right, man. Have a great night, Bill. Thanks so much. And let me know when to get Jason in here.
Yeah, later.